Welcome back to the channel. Guys, as you have seen by the heading of this video, we are going to be talking about adjusting to life with chronic pain. Okay, so adjusting to life with chronic pain. I want to first off start by saying that when I say adjusting to life with chronic pain, I am not saying for you to give up and accept in the way that your life is done and you're giving up on your past life. What I'm saying is that adjusting to a new way of living, because as we know, we all feel like we've lost our past self, and we feel like if you haven't got fibromyalgia or you haven't got a chronic pain condition, we as sufferers feel like we have woken up one day in somebody else's body and we're experiencing things that we've never experienced before. So we find it really hard to deal with. Me having fibromyalgia for almost 8 years now, I'm still learning, and I will probably still be learning for the rest of my life in how to adjust. But it is these small things that can accumulate into making our life that little bit easier. So, as we know, with fibromyalgia or chronic pain conditions, specifically fibromyalgia, because that's what I've got, we know that there is a vast array of symptoms. So, over 250 symptoms. I myself have over 40 symptoms. And with those symptoms comes a problem because there's so many of them. I've touched on this previously in another video where I said that it is very difficult to get medications because there's so many different symptoms like sleep deprivation, IBS, muscle twitching, itching, itchy skin, sore hair. I know it sounds weird. Light or noise sensitivity, pain, fatigue, all of the above and more. So it's really hard to, you're never going to find one pill that fixes it all. What I've begun to realize in my journey is if we can find things that even slightly alleviate certain symptoms, it can help us greatly. So what I mean by that is delving into it a little bit more. I have found stretching. Stretching, for instance, has helped me at some points alleviate certain pains. Not eradicate, alleviate, so it will take the edge off things. I have found that mindfulness has slowed down my anxiety. I have found that training, so going to the gym, keeping up with fitness, has not only helped my mind but releases endorphins, makes me feel good, and keeps me fit and healthy. And I have found that CBD has helped me with a few things. It's natural, which I like. I don't like taking pharmaceuticals. And it's helped me with my anxiety, my sleep pattern, and it has slowed down the amount of flares I get. So when you find these little things, all these little things can help in the grand scheme of things. So the reason fibromyalgia is so bad is because when you've got 40 symptoms and they all come together, it's just a nightmare to live with. And when you're caught in that moment, like I was before I got a diagnosis, and I still can be now, it's very hard to adjust. It's very hard to adjust to the new you. You're constantly in a state of, what do I do? I just need to get out of this day. I just need to get through this day, blah, 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 etc., etc. But what I try to do in adjusting to my life's fibromyalgia is think in the long run. So if I can alleviate me sleeping poorly, even slightly, if I can alleviate my anxiety, if I can alleviate the amount of flares I get, if I can help my mental health, if I can find something that helps me hit that trigger with a stretch, they will all help me greatly. they will never eradicate it, but they will help me greatly. And this helps me adjust to my life with fibromyalgia. So I think a lot of it is to do with how we think. And I don't want that to come across in the wrong way, because the way that it's been put across to me previously is that things that we're feeling are in our head, and I don't want it to come across like that. So what I mean is the way that we think that we can attack this situation. So we form a strategy, kind of thing. And for you to form a strategy on how you're going to adjust to your new life, I think you kind of have to have that line in the sand to say, okay, that was your past life. This now is how we're going to approach the new life. And it may be a bit confusing, but the reason I touch on this is because this is, to me, why a diagnosis is so important. You guys, if you've watched me for a while, will know that I say that not a lot of help comes from being diagnosed with fibromyalgia. If any, sometimes even less help than before, in regards to medication and such. But the reason it is vital and so important is, one, because we are totally convinced that we are dying and we have something seriously wrong with us, as in a terminal illness. And that's why we approach the doctors. And two, a diagnosis is so important because it lets you sit down, take the time and think, okay, I've got this. How can I approach it now? So what it done for me is like I say, one, it reassured me that I wasn't dying. Yes, it was a massive blow to know that there is no cure, there is virtually no help. But my mindset changed very, very fast after receiving the news that I had fibromyalgia. My mindset started to change. Okay, what can I do about this? There is no help, really. There is no cure. There is no medication. What can I do to give myself a good standard of life? And that was adjusting. So what I did is I found, and I'm still finding, and I'll probably still find for the rest of my life, things that alleviate certain symptoms and in a whole can bring me a better standard of life. So I hope with this video you can take a bit of information, a bit of what I have done, and you can approach it. It may be a different strategy, it may be the strategy that I've said, but I honestly feel like this is giving me a better standard of life than when I was caught before my diagnosis of what have I got, constantly searching. I wasn't concentrating on how I can make it better. I was concentrating on what is wrong with me. So hopefully this video will help you. If it does, please let me know in the comments below. And guys, as I always say, I hope you're having a low pain day and your fibro flare-ups are at bay.